Celebrate your independence with furniture that fits you. Haverty's. Life looks good.
Tonight, breaking news, our team one-on-one on the U.S. border with the nation's top border security official. And the moment we witnessed today, two mothers and their children allegedly being smuggled into the country, stopped, questioned, sent to be processed. Tonight, you will hear what the Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection now says about President Trump's executive order, no longer separating parents and children, the changing rules, and what he says is being lost in this entire debate. Also tonight, President Trump doubling down, saying we cannot allow all of these people to invade our country. We must immediately, he says, with no judges, bring them back from where they came. Also developing the state of emergency as we come on the air. Dozens of major fires burning at this hour. Homes destroyed, evacuations ordered in California, Oregon, and Texas. The firefighter shot and killed while responding to a senior living facility. Teams answering calls of an explosion. The family horror tonight, the father and his two daughters camping. The father is shot and killed in the tent, police say, with the girls right there. And an American favorite, are they one of the first casualties as trade tensions escalate? Harley-Davidson tonight moving some production overseas, and President Trump just responding, saying he is surprised they're the first ones to wave the white flag.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us to start another week here. And we begin tonight with the outcry over what this country and the world has witnessed on the American border. Tonight, President Trump with a new message, send them back. They don't need to see a judge. And tonight, right here, the moment we witness our team on the border as two mothers and their children were allegedly being smuggled into the U.S. They are stopped, questioned, and you will see what happens next. The Border Patrol then chasing the alleged smuggler. He gets away. And this evening, you're about to hear what the nation's top border security official told our team right there with him about the president's changing policies and what he says this country is missing in this entire debate. Just as we learned tonight that his agency has temporarily stopped handing over migrant parents to prosecutors. ABC's Tom Yamas on the border for us tonight.
¿Cuántos más vienen? Look, there's a smuggler. Espérate ahí, espérate ahí.
On the South Texas border, an alleged human smuggling operation as it happens.
Come on.
Border Patrol agent Robert Rodriguez chasing an alleged smuggler, escaping back to Mexico across the Rio Grande.
That's a smuggler?
This is the smuggler right here.
¿Cuándo te pagaron?
I asked him if he was paid, but no answer.
And Agent Rodriguez, you can't go in there.
I cannot go in the river to apprehend him. As long as it goes back south, I'm all right.
How do you know that was a smuggler?
Guaranteed he's a smuggler just by the way he was dressed. No shirt, wearing shorts. As soon as he saw me, he was in trail here. He ran over here, jumped in the raft, and went back south.
Back up the clearing, no sign of the migrant families. But a quarter mile up the road, there they are. Up close, we can see they're tired, sweating, and confused. And right there, in his mother's arms, a baby. His name is Angel. His mother says she's been traveling for a month, starting in Honduras. I ask her about taking Angel on the dangerous journey. She breaks down. She tells me gangs threatened to kill her baby. They already killed his father.
So it's about 100 degrees here in McAllen, Texas right now. We're with these different families who've crossed over in some unaccompanied minors. We were concerned about the heat because the little baby's only 1 year old. We were able to give him a bottle of water, but Agent Rodriguez, who we've been embedded with, tells us that as soon as they get to the processing facility, they'll make sure that the baby's doing okay. Right now, he's smiling. He seems to be doing okay.
I ask Agent Rodriguez what will happen to these families.
Are these families going to stay together?
Right now, they're going to stay together.
Today, we met with the Commissioner of Customs and Border Protection.
What's it been like for your agents? I mean, one moment they're ordered to separate families, the next they're told to keep them together. What's that been like?
It's a huge challenge operationally for our agents, right? They're here to do a job, to protect the border, to enforce the law.
We asked about separating the children.
What were your agents telling you about separating these kids, and the kids are crying right in front of them, and they're children, in some cases babies?
Right.
What did they tell you?
Yeah, that's a challenge in law enforcement. You're always going to be taking actions that impact people, that have a human consequence. So they're mission focused, and at the same time doing it with heart.
Why do we have to put kids in cages? when they apprehend them at the border?
Yeah, this is a very temporary holding facility. It's for a matter of hours while we work to transfer families or kids to HHS, Health and Human Services, or to ICE together. And what we have to do is we have to protect them.
Can't you separate them without putting them in cages? I mean, these are little kids.
Yeah, this is the funding we have for our facility for temporary processing. It's a safe facility. You can actually see what's happening through the open, transparent fencing.
The commissioner telling us he's confident these families can be reunited.
So it's very important at the outset that we process them carefully, that we capture in their file, in our electronic systems, everybody they crossed with, so that if they have a parent, even if it's a short period of time during our stay in our facility, they can be connected and reunited with the parents.
And so let's bring in Tom Llamas. He joins us live outside the processing facility in McAllen, Texas tonight. And Tom, I want to go back to what we just heard the commissioner tell you there, because so many people have been following this so closely. He told you that there's enough information gathered on these parents and on the children to reunite them.
That's right, David. The commissioner describes it as the front-end process, and it may be the most important process. When those families come to a facility like this, they are processed, and they gather as much data from those children and from those parents, so when they were separated, they can hopefully then reunite them back here in the United States.
And Tom, I read the full transcript of your interview as it came in late today. The commissioner also saying something else when you asked, what's the biggest misperception about all of this? And I wanted our audience to hear what he said.
It's not just about what happens at the border. It's about what's happening to these families when they're making the decision in Central America to try to migrate to the United States, when they're in the hands of Mexican cartels and smuggling organizations, and then the dangers of the crossing. That piece has lost the focus in this current dialogue.
The commissioner wanted to make it clear that there's another part of this story, Tom.
David, we heard it from the commissioner, I heard it from the Border Patrol agent we were embedded with, and I heard it from those two mothers who crossed illegally today. They told me firsthand that there is no hope, there's so much danger, so much crime, and that they knew they were putting their children's lives in danger, yet they were still trying to save them by crossing illegally into the U.S.
All right.
David?
Our Chief National Affairs Correspondent Tom Llamas leading us off tonight. Tom, we appreciate it. And as I reported at the top there, President Trump now calling for those who cross illegally to be deported without a hearing. He said no need for a judge. Here's ABC's Chief White House Correspondent Jonathan Karl on that part of the story tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Pressing his hard line on immigration, the president today called for all who cross the border illegally to be immediately shipped back to where they came from.
We want a system where when people come in illegally, they have to go out. And a nice, simple system that works.
It's an extension of his call to deny undocumented immigrants their day in court. We cannot allow all of these people to invade our country, he tweeted. When somebody comes in, we must immediately, with no judges or court cases, bring them back from where they came. But the courts have long held that even non-citizens have some rights of due process. As the ACLU put it, what President Trump suggested here is both illegal and unconstitutional.
Does the president believe that undocumented immigrants have no due process rights whatsoever?
Thousands of illegal aliens are removed every month without seeing an immigration judge as a result of procedures in current law, including voluntary removal and expedited removal. Just because you don't see a judge doesn't mean you aren't receiving due process.
Sanders also addressed an incident over the weekend where the owner of this restaurant in Lexington, Virginia, threw her and her family out as a protest against the Trump White House.
We are allowed to disagree, but we should be able to do so freely and without fear of harm. And this goes for all people, regardless of politics.
If you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant.
Now Democratic Congresswoman Maxine Waters is urging people to harass Trump officials.
And you push back on them, and you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Today, Democratic leaders strongly disagreed.
No one should call for the harassment of political opponents. That's not right. That's not American.
As for the president, he responded on Twitter, calling Waters an extraordinarily low IQ person and warning, be careful what you wish for, Max.
So let's bring in John Karl live at the White House tonight. And John, I want to go back to President Trump. That hard line on immigration extended today. You're now learning more about the Pentagon's plans tonight to house undocumented migrants on military bases now.
The Pentagon says that they are building what the defense secretary is calling temporary camps on 2 military bases in Texas. These so-called camps are designed to hold up to 20,000 undocumented migrant children. Now, Tom, David, what is not clear is whether or not these will also house the reunited families. At this point, the plan is for the unaccompanied minors themselves.
All right, many questions still unanswered. John Carl at the White House. John, thank you. We're going to turn next to the other major developing story as we're on the air tonight. Dozens of major fires now burning, homes destroyed, mandatory evacuations in several states, and a state of emergency in Lake County, California right now. Thousands of people being forced from their homes there as well. ABC's Will Carr tonight taking us to the front lines of this fight to get the fires under control.
Tonight, the Pawnee Fire in Lake County, California continues to explode, still 0% contained.
It's getting scary now.
The number of homes destroyed jumping, at least 22 structures burned to the ground, another 600 still in the inferno's path. The fire scorching 8,200 acres and forcing thousands to flee the area. You can see these flames eating through this bone-dry brush behind me. You can feel the heat coming off of those flames. These fire crews doing everything that they can to try to protect this community. Fire crews able to save Sandra Clark's pantry store, surrounded by flames shooting 200 feet into the air. What is your message to the men and women on the front lines who saved your business?
Oh, God, thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, I mean, they put their lives on the line.
And tonight, authorities taking no chances, stopping drivers who are not first responders and arresting one man allegedly armed with a gun, suspected of looting. Tonight, David, firefighters are asking nearby residents to save every drop of water to help out, and you can understand why when you take a look at this path of destruction, and the elements have been perfect for this fire. There's been low humidity, whipping winds, and boiling temperatures. And when you add it all up, this could be another record-setting wildfire season. David.
What a scene. Will Carr, thanks to you. And Will talked about how dry it is there and then the winds just fueling this, Ginger.
More than 27% of our nation, David, tonight, some level of drought. That's what we're reporting. And you can see right here, not just drought, but the relative humidity in that red flag warning area, 5 to only 10%. So you're going to see more fires. The winds could gust there to 40 miles per hour. It is a powder keg for wildfire. The numbers for tomorrow afternoon are some of the hottest of the week, from 94 in Durango back to 93 Sacramento, 111 Palm Springs. Those hundreds stretch all the way into Texas. And a flash flood watch right there in Iowa. Severe thunderstorm warnings tonight. Trees and power lines are coming down from South to North Carolina.
All right, watching that and the fires in the west, and we'll be anchoring the broadcast from the west tomorrow night. Ginger, thank you. In the meantime, we turn next tonight to a deadly encounter for a California firefighter. Emergency teams have been called to a senior living facility, then coming under fire in Long Beach. The fire captain did not survive. He was a veteran of the department, a husband, and a father. And tonight, what we've just learned about a person of interest. Here's ABC's Kana Whitworth.
Tonight, firefighters responding to reports of an explosion at a senior living facility, only to be met with deadly gunfire. Rick Convey rushing down a flooded stairwell with his wife and says they saw a man they recognized from the building with a gun.
And there's a man sitting there with a gun in his hand, and I hollered, he's got a gun, and somebody else hollered gun, and we just scrambled back up the stairs.
Gunshot victims, one of them was second floor.
2 firefighters shot, 1 killed. 45-year-old Captain Dave Rosa, a 17-year veteran, a husband and father of 2.
We just show up to do our job. And firefighters, you know, they do a tremendous job, and they deal with fire. They don't deal with bullets.
3rd victim also hit.
We do have a person of interest detained, and we have recovered a weapon.
Today, an escort with full honors for Captain Rosa as the city mourns the loss of one of its bravest.
This is a tough day. It's a tough day.
And Kana Whitworth joins us now from near the scene. And tonight, this is an active arson and homicide investigation, Kana?
That's exactly right, David. The ATF and the bomb squad have also been on scene here. The other firefighter was treated and released. And firefighters I spoke with said they've recently been participating in active shooter training. But David, this is the first death in the line of duty for this department since 1974. David.
Kana Whitworth with us tonight. Kana, thank you. We're going to turn to the economy and to an American favorite tonight. Are they one of the first casualties as trade tensions now escalate? Harley Davidson tonight moving some production overseas, and President Trump just responding late this afternoon, saying he's surprised that they're the first ones to wave the white flag, in his words. The Dow plunging 328 points today. Among all of this, here's ABC's chief economics correspondent Rebecca Jarvis tonight.
Tonight, you could see it on their faces. Nerves running high on Wall Street with trade war fears sparking a sell-off. The Dow at one point plunging nearly 500. One of the biggest losers, Harley-Davidson. The American icon announcing it will move some manufacturing overseas just